All right, so what I want to do is focus a little bit on making sure that we cover everything that I teach for kind of newer agents. Not some of you guys have been in business for a while, so some of this might be a little repetitive, but I hope that you can take down and really get a couple of solid things that you can help to facilitate the growth of your business. We're going to cover a lot of different topics. I'm going to start about how to pitch yourself, how to differentiate yourself from other realtors. I teach thousands of agents across the country, or I have taught, but I focus primarily on coaching a select group who's really into building a brand, building their own brand, and building, really a team or a brand that really represents who they are in their local market. You're going to hear me talk a lot about who you are, how to get your name out in the market. If you've already done that, great. But I also happy to, I launch brands on the regular. In fact, I was brought to California to be a launch manager for a lot of real estate brands. And so I'm excited to help see these brands come to life. Anything that I can help you there. We're going to talk a little bit about how you need to have all of your brand everywhere, as well as how your brand represents you. We're going to work on a compelling elevator pitch. How many of you, just show of hands, currently can tell me in 90 seconds how you're different than every other real estate agent? How are you different than every other real estate agent? And can you articulate that easily to your leads when they say, what do I get when I work with you, Greg, for example? What do I get? What can I expect for you to be my agent? I want us to really nail that today. Other things that we're going to talk about, obviously now we're going to focus on what I call the top and the middle and the bottom of the funnel. Right. So one of the things that, as I was telling you guys, my background is corporate consulting, and I used to teach, mega sales teams. And the one thing that I found was really interesting when I got into real estate was that there was a focus of attention at the top of the funnel. Like, we do a lot of great marketing. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we do advertising, we spend money on farming, we spend money at the top of the funnel generating business. Okay, that is critical to the business. The minute you take your foot off of that, your pipeline will start to dip. But then what I realized is that we lacked attention in the middle of the funnel. So today I'm going to talk a lot about the importance of prospecting. Marketing isn't prospecting, and prospecting isn't marketing. All right, and you'll hear me say that it's very important that when we do this marketing effort, we're also following it up with a very important prospecting effort. I'm going to introduce you to some tools to help you measure your lead gen activity. And in fact, my motto for my company, Platinum Coaching Group, is that I want realtors to treat their business like a business. Right? I want you to treat your business like a business. And that's the one thing a lot of people hire me as a coach to teach them and to help them with. We're really good at selling. We can get clients. We learned our scripts, right? We figured out how to negotiate an offer. But somewhere in there, nobody taught us how to make this a business. And the one thing that you're going to need to do to make this a business above all else is measure it. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about the importance of the metrics that you need to treat your business like a business. And it starts with the money, you guys. We're in this for a reason. I want to make sure that you have a right balance of expense to GCI. I want to also make sure you have a right balance in your fees and all and things that you're investing in to run your company. And I also want to make sure that you're secure and safe when it comes tax time, or when it comes time to make sure that we want to double down and make other investments in the business. There's a time and a place to do that for sure. So we're going to talk about taxes, expenses, and profitability. And I can hear your eyes roll, you guys. You're like, please don't make me talk about taxes, expenses, and profitability, Andy. But it's not a business if you don't understand this. I'll be really honest. You could be like, you really need to know how to make money at this game. And that's what I'm here to teach you to do. And one of the biggest things that I coach is basically how to have a successful day. All right. We're in the business of reaction. Right. How many of you feel like most of your day is spent being reactionary, right? And reactive versus proactive to our business? We fight a lot of fires, right? Like all day long, our clients need X, Y, and Z. And so we're super responsive and we're on top of what they need. but our schedule gets away with us. So I'm going to teach you some just lovely life hacks about how to manage your schedule instead of your schedule manage you. Um, and then last but not least, we're going to focus on what really matters, and that's mindset. I work with some amazing leaders, and the one thing that we focus on every week in our coaching is where we are, not with just our mindset, but everything that impacts our mindset. You know, we have to be a therapist a lot of times out there with our clients, and we take on a lot. I take on a lot as a coach. I know that you guys take on a lot as agents, right? And so I'm going to talk to you just about some things that I have seen that very successful $1 million agents do to keep their mindset sharp and focused and fueled with the right content. And then last but not least, Sania's going to talk to you as well about ongoing learning. The number one investment I can tell you to make is the investment in yourself. You're all entrepreneurs, right? And we have to continuously grow and learn. And so I thank you guys for being here today and for participating. All right, we're going to have a lot of fun. Please know that if you have any questions for me throughout this, raise your hand. Sonia, I'm not going to be able to see everybody. So if you see someone, let's just open it up. This isn't, I'm not going to do like a Q&A at the end. I'd rather take your question real time. And I'd like to know a little bit more about you guys. I'll tell you a little bit about me here on this slide. I live in the Bay Area. I live on the coast here in Half Moon Bay, California. I coach agents and leaders, and every day I do weekly coaching. I do training sessions like this, and then I do conference speaking. But my passion really is on the prospecting part of our business. So lead generation, but turning those leads into truly conversion. That's why I feel like there's such an importance. Like if we start measuring, hey Andy, I'm getting all these leads and I'm not closing any business. Well, then what you need to do is figure out what's happening in the middle of the funnel. So I'm going to focus my time there because I love, love, love selling. This is a sales job. You guys can tell me it's a service job, and I'll say you're right. But also, most importantly, this is a salesperson license because we are out here to make money, and I'm going to help you guys do that. When I'm not coaching, okay, I'm a water girl. I live right next to the ocean. I'm a dive master. I travel all over. I swim with sharks. And I have an awesome surfboard company with my boyfriend right here at Mavericks, which is the biggest waves here in the States. So anyhow, that's a little bit about me. I have an amazing kid. I have really put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of trials and tribulations, and a lot of perseverance into having a life by design. And so it is what motivates me, and what fuels me is to make sure that I'm helping you guys. I realize like I love the fact that I'm in a business of helping other people be successful. It's my time to give back. And I'm going to ask you guys as well, as you think about anything that I teach you in this next hour and a half, that if there's something that you learn, pay it forward. It's the reason why I'm here today, because somebody paid it forward to me. And I appreciate Sonia for bringing me on. And if there's anything that you can share knowledge downstream, upstream, cross stream, please make sure that we're just continuously trying to cultivate the best talent in this industry that we can, ourselves and our peers included. All right, here's a bunch of ways to get in touch with me. Fire away, hit me up. I'm all over the Instagrams, and you'll see a lot of personal stuff too. I like to get to know you guys personally, so feel free to reach out to me at any time as well, on my Facebook or in email. And I'm happy to have a coaching conversation with anyone too, if you ever want to do a discovery about what it's like coaching with me. Okay, but before we get into all that, straight out of the gate, why did you decide to become a real estate agent? Why did you decide to become a real estate agent? All right, I would like to see what's going on in the chat room. So let's see here. Fire away for me. Oops. And we got, so paying it forward. I love it, Amber. Thank you. People and money, handling a first-time home buyer, the keys. Oh my gosh, it's so rewarding. I love that moment. I love it when they struggled to get financing and you were there with them, and they never thought they'd be at the closing table, and you got the deal done 6 months before they ever were ready. Such a great people, the freedom and money. Freedom is a big reason why we're in this business. It was the best fit for me, says Joseph. Seeing my family lose properties that they shouldn't have. Diana, what a beautiful why. I love that. These are the things that inspire us, and it's like if those are if your family was losing money and you're able to help create that generational wealth through real estate, I love your purpose. No ceiling on income, of course, flexible schedule, helping people to get a home. That's why it is the number one purchase that they're going to make. Now, there's thousands, hundreds and thousands of realtors out there. So I want you guys to be that realtor that they go to really get them into the dream home that they've desired. Autonomy, says Jaspreet, creativity, money, and helping others. I bet you have a little bit of marketing flavor that you really like. Let's see, build a successful career and work with talented professionals. You're only going to be as talented as the people you surround yourself with. Let me just tell you one of my favorite quotes. Like, if you want to cluck, you can hang out with the chickens. If you want to fly, you got to soar with eagles. I actually have it on my wall because it was a big turning point for me, realizing that especially when I got out to the Bay Area. I'm from the South, you guys, if you hear it in my voice. When I got out to the Bay Area, I really noticed like my circle was all soaring. So I encourage you to keep with that. This home is one of the most important things to own, and I like to treat my clients with like that. Good. All right. So I love these reasonings, right? And it's going to fall right into why and how you're going to pitch yourself. All right. So let's talk a little bit about pitching ourselves. I asked you if you were able to clearly differentiate how you were, or clearly articulate how you're different than other agents. Now, I want you to think back, okay? I want you to think back to last year at this time. Okay, think back to last year at this time. For those of you that were licensed back then, some of you are new this year, but thinking back to last year, do you remember every house that you sold? Do you remember every house that you helped purchase? Right? How many of you are doing deals north of 30 a year? Anyone? North of 30 a year? Right? So the reason why I ask this question is a lot of times we can remember the house. We can remember the house. We can remember why it didn't pass inspection. We can remember how hard it was to get in contract. We can remember exactly where it was and all the comps around it. But few times do we remember the people. And in fact, when I do this, I'll challenge you to do a little CRM database challenge. Go into your CRM and pull up everybody. Pull up somebody. Just pull them up, right? Pull them up and ask yourself, what do you know about them? What do you remember about them? I remember their house. I remember their dog. I remember how hard it was to get to closing. What do you really know about them? And so, what I want to try to encourage you guys is not to focus on the transaction, but to focus on the relationship. You hear this a lot. This is a relationship business. I look at all those chats telling me how much this is a relationship business. I'm a people person. I want you to keep remembering the people in this business, not the transaction and not the property, because property is just product at the end of the day. It's the people that matter. So let me tell you some ways that you can be thinking about, am I a relationship based agent or am I a transaction based agent? First of all, a relationship based agent will always be asking themselves right out of the gate, is it about trust? Do you guys know when your clients trust you? Do you feel that moment of, I am their trusted advisor? I'm guiding this deal. They're not guiding the deal. They're actually listening to me. They're doing their homework. They're trusting in the data that I provide them. Right? This is when I'm in prospecting mode, right? This is awesome. Jaspreet is definitely a relationship based agent. All right. So you'll know when you make that connection, right? You make a connection, it's as if you found a new friend. A relationship based agent will be saying, do they trust me? Do they like me? Believe it or not, people buy from people they like. Okay. And when they like people, they trust people. And so as a relation, as a way to always just check yourself, is this just a lead, a cold lead that I'm not connecting with? And how do I build a relationship with this person during prospecting that will carry throughout the life cycle? All right, do I meet their needs? How many times do you ask your clients, am I meeting your needs? While you're prospecting, while you're writing the offer, am I getting the job done for you? Or do you wait to the end and ask for a review? Do you wait and ask for a review or a referral, you know, well after the closing? You're probably not top of mind, my friend. They got a lot of other things going on. But I want you to just check in with your clients and ask them, am I meeting your needs? Is this working for you? Are we communicating the way that you like to communicate? Am I showing you properties that you love? Are we, like really get their feedback throughout the life cycle, because it establishes a two-way trust, right? So I'm going to encourage you to even the clients you're working with right now that are actives, just dial that into your communication with them. Do I understand what's in it for them? Now, I do a lot of coaching about what to say, right? We've got amazing scripts, right, that we practice, and we sometimes we're too rehearsed, right? But one of the things that I always am going to encourage any of my coachees is, don't speak to what you want to tell them. Communicate on what they want to hear. I'll try that again. Don't communicate what you feel like you need to tell them. Communicate the way they want to be heard and what they want to hear from you. It's a different message, you guys. It's a lot listening, a lot more listening, and a lot less talking. Now, this is a sales hack I've been doing for 20 years. And sometimes realtors it doesn't click with them. And just be quiet. Just be quiet and ask the questions that the client will get to. Now, I can teach sales training all day long, but what I want you to focus on here is being a relationship-based agent. When you understand what's in it for them, you're always coming back to motivation and time frame. First-time home buyer, my parents' houses, making sure that you are reminding them, because when we say it again, it creates a compelling need. When we create a compelling need, we create emotion. When we create emotion, buyers and sellers make decisions. Right? So I want you to be thinking about what's in it for them, when is it right for them, right? And then also making sure that you are just double checking back in with them. And then last but not least, is this my ideal client? Guess how many times a week I get told I'm going to fire this client, Andy? Guess how many times I get told I need to fire my client? Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why are we firing a client? Now, there are reasons to fire clients. Don't get me wrong. I won't treat any, unprofessional, unethical things that challenge your core values. I'll tell you. But out of the gate, if the client is difficult, we don't fire them. We got to try to figure out why they don't trust us enough to respect what we have to say to guide them through the process. But sometimes they're just not our ideal client. Okay? Sometimes it's one of the most important things we do in the ISA world, ISA inside sales agent world, is we connect prospect client to agent. And sometimes it doesn't work. So don't worry that if there is a time where you feel like this is not my ideal client, okay, you can't, if you're measuring your business, then you'll know it's okay to drop one or two. But we're not going to do it because they're having a panic attack or because they're stressed out. Everybody gets stressed out during a transaction. We just got to learn to work with it. Okay, what about during the transaction? Are you relationship-based agent? Are you relationship-based? Or are you focused on the deal? Relationship-based agents are they taking my advice? Oh, another way that I can always tell a relationship-based agent is the client actually listens to your comps. They agree with what their offer price should be or what list price should be. They understand that you're giving them the data they need to make informed decisions. How many of you guys feel like during the transaction you're focused on the relationship? Show of hands. It's the fun, yummy part. This is when all the good stuff gets to closing and that we get to celebrate with them. But sometimes, that transaction can turn a little difficult. We're in a very difficult seller's market right now. Normalizing a little bit, thankfully. I have seen a lot more, I should say, more negotiable offers recently here in California. But I will tell you that if you are in the driver's seat, you're really caring about their wealth. You're caring about their money as if it were your own. And in fact, one of the most powerful things that I teach people to say, believe it or not, is if this were my mother's home or if this were my sister's home, this is what I would suggest. And so treat your clients so that they understand that you have that kind of relationship with them. All right, last but not least, what about after the close? What about after the close? How many of you touch base with your past clients once a month? Anyone? Chat it up. If you touch base with your past clients once a month, some way, somehow, any kind of touch, marketing touch, phone call touch, text touch, you staying on top of them? All right, I believe in a 12-step past client campaign, right? I strongly encourage you guys, set it on your calendar. On the 22nd of every month, I'm going to blast out a hello to some past clients, right? Or I'm going to text somebody after 1 month after they're closed, and then I'm going to text them again in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But for the most part, they're going to at least hear from me in a marketing pitch or something once a month. Okay, because I care about how their home is. You know, I had a client the other day tell me, he's like, Andy, client's already in their house. They want me to go cabinet shopping with them. I said, go cabinet shopping. Like, why would you not go They're looking to you for advice for their new home that you just helped them purchase. They think we are product, by the way. You guys get that, right? We should know everything about the bones of the house. We are the product sometimes. And so I said, why would you not want to go cabinet shopping? She's like, I don't have the time. I've got all these other deals I'm working. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Any face-to-face time with a client is valuable time, right? So take that opportunity to go help them. If I mean, there is a limit of what your time will allow. But this was a very serious client that's bought several properties and just wanted the agent's opinion. The agent, by the way, is not an interior designer or an architect or a project manager. No, just loves homes and she wanted some quality time with her agent. So take time to make sure they're happy in their home. How's it working? Is it meeting their needs? Is it solving their motivation to begin with? Check back in with them, get to know them. Um, Also, the one thing that really will cultivate it within itself, like, is we really are focused on their money. You want them to make some money out of this investment. And when you have a true relationship with your client, they'll tell you straight up, hey, I've got this much in equity now. I'm ready for the next purchase. If you're not talking to your past clients regularly, do you think they're going to just reach out the phone and pick up the phone and call you and tell you that? Or are you having such a relationship with you that when you go out to lunch, they're starting to think about the second property, the third property, moving up, investing, flipping, right? Anything like that. Think about their money like it's your money, and they'll trust you a lot more. One of the things that I see, I don't know how many of you are guilty about this. Well, when you get pre-qualified, give me a call and we'll go look at homes. Have you spoken to a lender yet? Okay, that's your first step. Go speak to a lender, and when you're done, come back and let's talk. And okay, so what's your budget? Your budget's 1.2. All right, that's beautiful. And have you already been pre-qualified? Great. Okay, and then you stop, right? All right, this is the biggest. I mean, if they trust you, trust them to help them make wealth out of their real estate purchase. Right. So the only way that's going to happen is if you need to know how much money are they really, where's their sources of income? How much income? Do you understand where the funds are? I had a client the other day. It's like, Handy, I got to liquidate some things in order to put this offer together. I said, start liquidating. Where are you going to liquidate? How much are you going to liquidate? Let's go ahead. Let's get it ready. All right. This is trust. If you just let the lender handle all the money part, right, and you just handle the property part, there's going to be an imbalance of helping them to find and make wealth out of their real estate purchase. Okay. Last but not least, 12 steps, you guys. Past clients once a month, some way, somehow. I want them to see an email from you hitting their inbox, whether that's on your market newsletter or if it's a personal message, and every now and then just a nice text to say thinking about you. How long does that take? Why is this so important? All right. Now, strong producers understand that for every one transaction we do, on average, that client will yield 6 more transactions over a lifetime. Okay, 6 more transactions. That's growing your business 6x off one deal if you pay attention to your past clients. This is how your business cultivates within itself. For you newer agents out there, I'm going to tell you, go buy leads. I'm a fan. Go buy leads and go buy coaching and you'll make money. All right. But I will tell you, if you're in your year 2, year 3, year 6, your business better be repeating itself now, cultivating within itself. Now, 80% of my business is known business, 20% is unknown that I'm chasing. When you start out, it's reverse. I got 20% of people in my sphere that might work with me, might give me a referral, and 80% of my business has to come from people who don't know me. And I got to market like crazy and generate leads and get my business going. But by year 2.5, 3, if you're not seeing repeat clients and referrals, you're not staying on top of past clients. And you're just chasing new. All right. So this is on average. This is a NAR statistic, right? We do so much work to attract them, you guys. Please, let's keep them. You guys think that they're so loyal to you, don't you? You're like, oh, they're so loyal to me. I got to remember what the NAR statistic is. If anybody, if any of you know how many clients actually went and shopped for a new agent, it was like 1 out of 8 were shopping for new agents. I mean, stuck with their original realtor. 1 out of 8 stuck with their original realtor, I believe is the number. So I'm telling you guys, other people are poaching your clients. Stay on top of them. Okay, let's talk about service level. All right, now I had an experience one time. I'm gonna tell a story. You guys okay with a little story? Um, do you ever think of a moment, and I want you guys to remember this as I tell my story, it's gonna come to you, of what I call a Ritz-Carlton experience. Like, holy crap, they went way above and beyond for me. But they went next level above and beyond for me. You know how like when you check into the Ritz, first of all, when you just like put your reservation in, I'm getting text messages, I'm getting a concierge person talk to me. We're waiting your arrival, Miss Cummings. Like, oh wow, okay, cool. They're calling me by my name. I show up and I have a special line just for me. And I got somebody who will take my bags and walk them upstairs before I even need to get my credit card out. Right? This is a Ritz-Carlton experience. They actually have doubled down. They've made it a passion to give service levels. And by the way, you can do Nordstrom. You can do all of these high level service level companies. For my story, I'll tell you my story. I was training a sales team in Boston in, gosh, the late 90s. And I was doing a lot of like CRM technology training back then, .com stuff. And I remember the snowstorm came in, awful snowstorm in the middle of Boston. Now I'm from Alabama, you guys, right? Like I had never seen so much snow. And my friend was from San Diego, my co-trainer. And so we were just like, what's a snowplow? We were having fun. We had to let the class go. They were like, you guys, they were telling the trainers, like, you got to let us go. You got to let us go because we got to get home. There's a blizzard coming. We're like, okay, now for the Bostonians to tell me there's a blizzard coming, all right, we should probably cancel class and we'll go back to I was staying at the Four Seasons. And I was staying at the Four Seasons, but before we went back to the Four Seasons, we went on a little tour of Boston and we went down to the oldest bar in Boston in like Faneuil Hall area. I can't remember the name of it, but I had this incredible clam chowder. Clam chowder made me sick as a dog. In fact, I got so sick, I got food poisoning off of it in the middle of a blizzard. All right, so I go back to the Four Seasons. I'm like up all night, just so sick. My poor trainer, my poor friend was like, "Do you need anything?" I'm like, I can't. I'm sick. I can't even go to the hospital. I'm so sick. Well, lo and behold, the Four Seasons concierge guy came up to my door and he knocked on the door and he's like, "Do you need us to take you to the emergency room?" I said, "There's a blizzard going on outside. We're not going anywhere." And he's like, "Okay, just if you need anything, let us know." I said, "Can you open up that little sundry store down there? because I really need like some Gatorade, like I'm dehydrated. And he's like, we can't open it up because it's a third party and they've already gone home for the day. We don't even have the keys to it. We would love to get you some stuff. And I was like, okay, never mind. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. 45 minutes later, knock on my door. That bellman had just walked 5 blocks in a blizzard to the only CVS open and bought me everything over the counter that had to do with food poisoning in the middle of a blizzard. Knocks on my door. Okay, this is next level service, you guys. I'll never forget that guy. I'll never forget that moment. I'll never forget it changed the way I do delivery with my own clients. I will go to the next level. I will shop for cabinets with you, right? I will help you when, I want to get to know everything that you need for your home. So I want you guys to think about your Ritz-Carlton experience. Go ahead, type it up. Let me hear them. Let me hear some good, cool things. Where was it? Who was the person? Was it a food? Was it a restaurant? Was it retail? Was it hospitality? Did you go buy a car? Chat it up. Let me hear what you were purchasing and how you remember that experience. I'll give you a couple of times, a little bit to see what you guys think about your Ritz-Carlton's experience. You guys there? Did my chat box stop working? Who's on with me? All right, you guys. I asked you if they were going to be participating. There we go. Diana says, I don't have one I can remember. Evelyn's here. Awesome. Thank you, Evelyn. Joe is a server. Joe, it was a server that told us what to eat and what to avoid, which was cool. Do you remember his name, Joe, by any chance? I left my cell phone in an Uber. It's missing, and then the driver drove it back. It's amazing. It was a long time ago. Yeah. Sometimes you'll remember their name. Like, oh my God, I remember the person that gave me. I totally remember the guy that helped me. His name was Anthony. I wrote all kind of letters about him too, and he got a bonus, and it was awesome. Right. I tell you this because I want your clients to think of you like this 10 years down the road. I want them to say, man, Troy gave me next level service, and he's the guy that I always want to buy a house from. He's the guy that needs to sell our house, right? Same thing with Alicia. Alicia, I want you to give like the most incredible service that they can't forget your name, right? That's when you know that you've gone next level. A good friend of mine actually owns a big brokerage in Maryland and Delaware, #1 team in Long and Foster, and they actually have figured out how to do every service there is with getting a person from one home to the next, right? It's all under one umbrella. How beautiful is that? Those ancillary services. And the realtors, the agents, they get to coordinate across every bit of it. They don't just hand them off to another business unit. The agents actually guide every portion of the deal, right? Including the move, including the packing. They have a company that does it, but the agent's the quarterback, right? So think about that. I said, ooh, Nairis, I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sure. Nairobi Robinson says, me and my wife went to an awesome resort and the service was so great and the staff was so attentive that I felt I needed to tip everyone at least $40 after every interaction. Wow, I love that. Yeah, that's an amazing story, you guys. Okay, so think about it. Would your clients say that about you? Would your clients say that you give that kind of service? Yes. Awesome, Amber. Yes, says Joe. I'm going to say Andrea because that's my name. It may be Andrea. All right, so here's what I want to do. We're going to do a little exercise. Get out a pen and a paper. Get out a pen and a paper. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to get this exercise done. We're cruising right on time. This is awesome. All right, I want you to draw a line down your paper. And on one side, I want you to put who you're going to be as a realtor. Who are you? What can I expect when I work with you? What will show up as you as an agent? Write it down. All right, so things like, and if your clients, when your clients say, well, what can I expect when I work with you, Amber? What are the things that's going to show up? Ashley, What's going to be the things that show up for you guys? This is who I am as a realtor. Right? You guys got your list? Yeah? I can't see a lot of your faces. If you guys do have video, I would love to see you. It helps me so much as a trainer. Okay, that side is actually probably looks very similar. I bet if I read all of yours, who will I be as a realtor? They're all really probably close. So now what I want you to do is we need to differentiate ourselves. I'm going to give great service. I'm going to be there for my clients. I'm going to be attentive. I'm going to show up, right? Good. That's your job. You're supposed to show up. So now what I want to ask you, and this one's easier. This one's easier. On the other half of your page, tell me what you won't do. What will never show up when working with you? I will not be this kind of agent, Andy. Write it down. I will not be this kind of agent. It's really easy because you know what? Sometimes we see those agents we don't want to be like I'm not going to be that. But there were also really define any form of ugly. Yeah, it's not necessary. Let's see now you guys can definitely tell me who you're not going to be, right? And in fact, I'm going to encourage you guys to do this with your clients. Here's a little sales hack for you. People are much likely to tell you what they hate than what they love. So if you're stuck between these three houses and they still can't make a decision on the kitchen, ask them what they hate about one of them, and they'll tell you really quickly. Not what do you love about them. It's easier for us to tell you what we don't like, believe it or not. And hate and love are strong words to use, and when we're working with clients, I encourage them. We won't be argumentative. We'll be more focused on money versus, oh, I love that, Rebecca. More focused on my money than their service. Oh, that's an awesome thing to put in your elevator pitch. Diana says, I will not be intolerable. I love these. All right, so here is your exercise. This is your homework that I'm going to give you. You're going to, you know what you guys just did? You did a value definition. You basically wrote your values on the left side and your not values on the right side. So that was a values exercise I just did, and I do it with all my new brands. I just basically did a little branding thing with you. Right? Now what you do is you take these values and you turn them into a 90-second elevator pitch about who you are as an agent. And when I ask Amber, what do I get when I work with you? She's formed a 90-second elevator pitch to tell me succinctly who she is as an agent. How many of you have this already in your back pocket? Beautiful. Because the one question we're going to get asked when we're in a competitive situation is, well, why would I need to work with you? Why should I work with you? Oh, because I'm going to have the best photographer and I'm going to have, the best staging company. Everybody's got one, right? The differentiator is on you, right? So how are you going to show up as an agent? You just told me how you're not going to show up. Put it together. Your homework is a 90-second elevator pitch that your wife knows, your kids know, your broker knows. You can say it without any hesitation. It's actually one of the things I do with new agents, and they kind of stumble on it, and then we get it, and then we practice it. But what I love is when legacy agents that have been in the business for 6 years, they clean up, or 10 years or 18 years. The elevator pitch was from 10 years ago. They've evolved. So make sure your elevator pitch evolves with you. All right? How are we doing, gang? Everybody doing good? Everybody hanging with me? All right, cool. Let's keep going. Any questions? Oops. Any questions from the audience? Just go ahead and chat it up. All right. All right, we're going to be launching a new brand in the market. I love branding exercises, so much fun. I'm a creative person. I have an art degree. So when I really get into brand, I get so focused on it because it's not just about putting a logo and a team name and a brand name together, which is awesome. That's a lot of fun. I don't know how many of you are out there building your own brands, but that brand is you. And so where you're represented is extremely important, right? And so what I like to do is also just remind people that if this is my brand, let me go back. The brand is you and your team, all right? then how are you represented across everywhere the consumer is going to be looking for you? Now, we all have a headshot and a bio, right? I actually encourage you to have three bios, believe it or not: a short bio, a long bio, and a really good social media bio. They're all three different. Put it on your to-do list if you don't have, if you only have one. But it needs to be consistent. And oh my gosh, if I see a headshot from 8 years ago with one of my new agents, I'm like, you don't even look like this anymore. Please go get some new headshots. That brand is you. Right? Do you have an online presence? All right. Where do you need to be online? Where the consumers are. Okay. Now, what's missing on this page so that you guys are going to tell me that, try to use a headshot from high school. That's a good one, Joseph. Man, you don't want to see mine from high school. Dude, I graduated a long time ago and I had some crazy curly hair back then. All those fake perms. All right, so anyhow, back to where are consumers? If you're not focused right now on Google Business, please be building a Google Business page, because the analytics for SEO that Google is doing ranks the businesses that have the most attention higher than those that don't. If you just threw up a business page and say, I work 7 days a week and here's my little brand, my logo, you're not giving your Google Business page enough love. All right. Show pictures of your clients, show houses that you've sold, do lifestyle stuff on your Google Business page. Make sure your team can be mapped. These kind of things. I'm not going to, I've been spending a lot of time here looking at what Google's doing with small businesses, and it's beautiful. Get on the train, y'all, because that's where consumers go search for real estate agents in Half Moon Bay. I want to be at the top. Okay. Other places that consumers are searching: Zillow, find me an agent. Redfin, find me an agent. If you're in the California market, man, Yelp is still super hot. If you can go over the East Coast, they don't like Yelp. But out here, Yelp is super hot. Dial it in, right? Make sure that people are looking for that you are where they are looking for agents. And I gave you some more out here. Google Business, got it. Thank you. All right, so now all you got to do is copy and paste. Can you look across all of these platforms and know you're represented on them, on every one of them? This is your checkbox. Here's some more. I'm on Google Business. I'm on Zillow, Realtor.com, HomeLight, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, my team website, Nextdoor, Yelp, Facebook reviews, Google reviews. By the way, pick one. Don't spread it out too thin. Pick one review source that you're going to really focus on and put them all there. I say this, and I added a few here that you didn't tell me about on the other page. But Andy, I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Instagram. Good, because a lot of people are connecting with leads in social media. It's called distraction marketing. Consumers are not searching on Facebook for a realtor. Consumers are developing relationships with you on social media. When they need an agent, then you're the one they go to. But you need to be on both. So make sure that you can take all of this and that you can say, yep, there I am. So that when I Google you, if you're one of my clients, the first thing I do is Google you. And if you don't show up across all these things, we're going to start working on brand right out of the gate. All right. So Google yourself, make sure all your bases are covered. Okay, let's talk. Now, we talked a little bit about how to get your brand out there. Oh, by the way, for you that are launching your brand first, beautiful opportunity to go get leads. There's such it's like putting paddles on the market when a new agent says, hey, I'm on this team. It's beautiful. It creates a need to have content. And it creates people to say, oh man, Andy's selling real estate now out in California. Dude, I got somebody that she needs to talk to. All right, so please take every opportunity on launch to freaking nail it out of the ballpark, you guys. Launch your brand with all kinds of enthusiasm, bells, whistles, press releases if you need to generate leads and business out of the gate. Let's talk about lead gen. I love lead gen. This is what I say about lead gen. There's many legs to this stool, gang. There are many legs to the lead generation stool. I want you to know them all, but be a master of one. Let me rephrase that. I want you to know them all, but be a master of one. And why is this? Because when you really start building a book of business from cold calling, and trust me, I am going to tell you to make your calls. When you build a business from cold calling and you get to be so good at it that you know you're going to get a listing appointment every day you call an expired, great. Don't stop doing that. Don't dilute that focus to go try to do listing appointments on Instagram. Now, however, if you're amazing at Instagram and your target audience is there and you're blowing it up, right? Then don't go dilute your time with a bunch of email marketing. So what I'm trying to do is get you to understand them all and actually be very diversified in your approach to lead gen. Yes, I know how to do social media. Yes, I do an event once a quarter. Yes, Andy, I'm contributing to my community. I'm sponsoring the baseball team in my community because I'm hyper local and I love my neighbors. And they know I love them. I'm on Nextdoor and they hear me on Nextdoor every day, every other day. Okay? Be the master of one, but know them all and be able to pick one up when you need it to go get an appointment, go get a lead. Okay? All right, so which one are you guys going to master? Who's the master at cold calling? Who can get an appointment after 15 calls? Who's my master cold caller out there? Anyone? Anyone? Who's my favorite social media person? Who do I need to follow on Instagram because you have the best Instagram? Ooh, Andrea can do some cold calling. I love it. I love it. Some people say, Andy, I'm never going to make calls. And I'm like, okay, don't make calls. Go do something else. Generate leads. Right? I will. Oh, by the way, I didn't even put on here referral source. Right? Referrals. Some people build an entire business off referrals. So whatever your lead gen activity is, I need to get involved with the media. I love that. I get a lot of sphere leads from social. Letitia, I've got a girl that I'm coaching right now, and she's got the Mommy and Me network nailed down on social media. Everybody in Morgan Hill wants to come work with her if they have small kids because she knows how to get sphere leads from social. So I love it. The one thing I'm going to encourage you anytime on social, when you get engagement, react on it. Guys, if you get engagement on social, you got to give some love back to get the lead. That's the prospecting part of the game. Speaking of the prospecting part, did you guys know that 50% of your time should be spent right here prospecting? Right here. Where do you think you spend 50% of your time? Down here. Right? Our time is our most valuable asset, you guys. So let's make sure that we work the bottom of the funnel when we get transactions. But this is where we do leverage activity. We leverage people to help us get the transaction to the closing table. We leverage people to help us get appraisals and inspections and all that good stuff, right? Well, I want you to be focusing on here in the middle of the market. Oh, by the way, I see agents go top heavy here too. Man, I've been on Facebook all day long, Andy. I'm just generating all kinds of great leads. I'm like, okay, how many did you get? Do you have name, number, and email? No, I know them on social media. I need you to get name, number, and email to count it as a lead. So if you're so good friends with them, right, we can engage with them and ask them if they want to be on your market report and dump them into your CRM. If you're not living inside your CRM, I'll coach you to that too. But anyhow, so right here is where we spend a lot of time, and then we jump down here and we forget that the real value is getting new business. Getting new business to actually commit to working with us. So I want you to look at your week last week, and I want you to say, did I actually distribute half my time having listing appointments, buyer consults, like going out and meeting a new lead, right? Acquiring commitment is where we need to focus the time if you want your pipeline solid and steady and strong and healthy. Now, how many of you are doing more than 10 deals a month? Anyone? More than 10 deals a month? Okay. How about if you're doing more than 4 deals a month? Anybody out here doing one a week? You can safely say I can do one a week, Andy. All right, let me just tell you that in order to get to that one a week number, you gotta have help. And the reason why I asked that question, some of you guys have been around for a while, right? The people that are doing 48 transactions a year have help. and they know how to leverage. Okay. We'll get you there. Don't worry. But what I want you to know is that your activity here is where you shine the most. You have to secure those leads yourself. You're selling yourself, you're pitching your services, you're helping them find property, and the whole time you're building a relationship. Okay. What's the difference between $1 million GCI agent and $100,000 GCI agent? I work with both of them. Who can tell me? Anyone? Anybody chat it up? What is the difference? There's no difference. Mindset, Joseph, you're absolutely on it there. What else? I'll tell you the one thing, CRM and using it. Rebecca, very important. They live inside their CRM. Actually, a lot of times their admin lives inside the CRM, but they know all the data's there. Discipline, we're going to talk a lot about discipline when we get to mindset. Believe it or not, the number one thing is $1 million agents never stop prospecting. It's the one differentiator that I know. They think about the hunt. Let me say that again. They think about the hunt. They want a new buyer. They want a new seller. In fact, it's such a focus of their day that appointments are at the end and the morning is prospecting, and it's as routine as brushing your teeth. They never stop prospecting. So their pipeline doesn't do this crazy business. When I see business do this, Andy, I did 8 deals in July. I'm so busy. I can't even prospect until September. I'm like, great, you're going to be hungry in November. It's a 60-day cycle. All right. So please, you guys, make prospecting part of your daily routine. And in fact, sometimes I have to tell these guys and guys and girls, I should say, like, did we focus on closing? Are we closing? And so now we work on the back end of how do we keep growing the business that we have. A pro tip here for you guys, on average, you should be meeting with 3 new clients every week. If you want to do 3 deals a month, you need 3 new clients every week. Okay. 3 new clients. Now I'll take a nurture that's warmed back up. That counts. A new that just came into the market and says, hey, I want to jump on and start, I was online shopping. I'll take all kinds of lead sources, you guys. But what's important is I need you to set the goal that you get 3 a week. It will make tremendous success for you. Because if you never stop prospecting, you're always thinking about this, right? I'm dialing in, I'm smiling, and I'm setting appointments. And when I set an appointment, I will convert. That's where the magic happens. That is the 50% in the middle of the funnel. I told you this earlier. People buy from people that they like, right? What's your likability? Just think about it. Do people like you? Yeah, they like me, Andy. I know lots of people. I have lots of friends. Great. Are they all in your CRM? Will they convert business for us? What about the new people that, my broker just gave me this lead. I know they want to buy a 3-2 in the next 8 weeks and they don't have enough money, but we're going to try to make it happen. Right? Do you form a connection with them? Do you form a connection on your first appointment? And you know what I mean by a connection. You'll feel it. Oh man, I like them. Yeah, they like me too. This is really, really important, and a lot of time, and something that not outside of industry specializes on. I used to teach pharmaceutical reps how to break into a doctor's office. You think you have it hard getting a seller? You should try to get to a doctor. And so they would do all kinds of gimmicks and have all scripts and all the marketing materials that they needed, and they would show up with their little roller bags, right? But the front desk person didn't like them. Guess what? You're not getting to the doctor. So I worked real hard to get them to understand, are you making a connection? Here's some things that I'm going to challenge you to do. Think about your clients that you have right now. Can you talk to them for 2 minutes and not talk about property when you first meet them? I like to say it's like going to the bar and you meet somebody at the bar and you're just hanging out and you're like, hey, I'm Andy. Yeah, I drink vodka sodas. Oh, cool. Yeah. I get to know them. I get to know where they're from. I get to know what they like to do. Why do you think I told you about who I am personally? I could have left that out and given you my resume because I want to form a connection with you. I want to form a relationship with all of you guys. And I want you to form relationships with your clients. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you like to do? Do you want to go? Do you enjoy hiking? Or are you more into live music? Oh, they're a jazz musician. Awesome. Take them, get them some tickets. Be a human being. I love that. So important. We just get so focused on comps, inventory, comps, inventory, inventory, no inventory. Great. I'll go have lunch with you and shoot the shit about how you're doing and what's going on with your friends and your family, because that gives me an opportunity to be in front of you when we don't have inventory to see. Do you know their disc profile? How do you connect with them? I'm going to ask you guys to go through your actives right now and go through the people that you are prospecting hard to, that you're prospecting really hard to. Andy, I got someone, they're kind of cold. They want to wait. I don't know if they're talking to other agents or not. I'm like, do they like you? I don't know, because I don't know them that well. That's your first job. Go make a connection. When you make a connection, honest, data does not make a connection, you guys. It's nice to have. It makes you a trusted advisor. It does not form a connection or a relationship. All right. So challenge yourself. Look through your database right now. The people that I'm prospecting, can I answer all of those questions? Do I know the kids' names? Do I know the kids' names? Please call the kids by the kids' names. All right. I used to teach salespeople, like when you walk into a room, you need an icebreaker. You guys remember the old days of icebreakers? Right. You walk into their house, you say, oh, you went to the University of Notre Dame. Awesome. My friend went to the University of Notre Dame. So you had to look for a cue to have an icebreaker. Used to do it in offices and homes, right? So I want you guys to be thinking of what is the icebreaker I need to start talking about who they are as a person. And that's how you form a relationship. You're not going to form a relationship over 123 Main Street. Right? I'll tell you straight out of the gate, because it's going to be gone and there's going to be another one in 3 to 4 years. Okay. Whew. How's everybody doing? Is this good? Is this helpful? Chat it up. What questions do we have, gang? We'll take a little break for a second. How is this class? Are you guys getting something out of this? Anyone? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear. Thank you. Yes, Rebecca. I love it. Oh, this is fantastic. Thanks you guys for giving me that feedback. It really empowers me. So let's keep going. All right. I coach not only real estate agents, I coach a lot of small business owners. In fact, I'm coaching a general contractor right now, how he's going to grow his business 5x in the next 2 years. I'm all about growth. I'm a growth mindseted girl. I hope you guys are about growth. Like, I know immediately if people have a growth mindset when I ask them 2 questions. How much money do you want to make this year? And how much money do you want to make in 5 years? Ask yourself that. And you're like, oh, Andy, it's not about the money. Well, we don't, well, then your why. What is your why? I want to travel. How much do you travel now? And how much do you want to travel in 5 years? Oh, it's about my kids. Okay, great. What are your kids getting now? And what do you want to be able to provide for your kids in 5 years? Well, it's about happiness. Great. How happy are you now? And what's going to make you happy in 5 years? I can turn this into any conversation. But what I know in a growth mindset is that they will 3, 4, 5, 10x that happiness level, or that money, or that travel. That's a growth mindset. And the only way that we get from point A to point B or Z is to measure every step along the way. In fact, if you coach with me, the first thing that you have to do is to tell me what your monthly run rate is going to be for the next 2 years. The next 2 years, how much are you going to do each month? Not year, not quarterly. I go down to the monthly level and I track month over month analysis with every one of my clients. They do it kicking and screaming because they hate spreadsheets, but we don't start the call until you tell me where we are from last year this same month. All right, so that's growth. All right, thank you, Evelyn. This is being recorded. We'll get it back out to you. So the way that we do that is to measure across every activity. I measure how much leads you're getting, lead volume. Write it down, gang. Lead volume, measure it. Do you know how many people don't measure lead volume? It starts there. I got 8 new leads this week, Andy. Beautiful. Now I can convert half of those if they're buyers and probably about 40% if they're sellers. Now let's go to work. But I got to know how many new leads came into the funnel. Team leaders that don't know this number, what value are you offering your recruits? You got to be able to tell them, I get 300 leads a month just from Zillow alone, and I'm going to be able to give you 10 of those. Team leaders, please know your lead volume. The next number I want you to know, and we'll come back to this. The next number that I want you to know is, where do you convert at? What's your conversion of getting an appointment, not closing a deal? There's several ways you measure this business. The first measurement is lead volume. The next measurement is appointments met. Are you measuring how many appointments you set, how many appointments you kept, compared to how many leads you got? That's conversion number one. And I'm going to get to that tracker in just a second, Joseph. I'm going to teach you how to do it. But people don't measure appointment conversion. ISAs do because they get paid on it. Right? I want you to measure your own business of, I'm setting the 3 appointments a week that I have set for myself. I'm getting 2 out of 3. Okay, I'm getting 2 out of 3, and I need to be 3 out of 3. So what am I saying or doing that is prohibiting me from breaking that conversion barrier? Okay, that's your second thing to track. The third thing that you're going to want to track and measure is how many appointments got to offer accepted. Guys, we spend so much time showing and not getting offer accepted. And I ask people, like, well, how many offers have you had to get accepted? And how many offers did it take? I don't know. It took us like 6 offers right now, Andy. I'm so exhausted writing offers. I'm like, okay, we need to do better on your conversion of offer acceptance. Writing offers does not get us into escrow. Accepting offers gets us into escrow. So measure it. How many are you doing a month? And how many from appointment to acceptance did you get? For buyers, believe it or not, you should be 1 and 2. Gang, if you're a good salesperson, you should not be losing a buyer once you start showing property. But from appointment to showing property to writing offer accepted, it's about a 50% conversion rate. It's different for sellers. If you get a listing appointment, a good listing agent will have a 70 to 80% close rate on getting that house on market. 70 to 80%. In other words, 3 out of 4 of my listing appointments, I'm going to nail. I know that number, Andy. And when I go off that number, I got to find out what I'm not doing right. Can you help me? Okay. The next number that you're going to obviously to track is close volume, close GCI, close average sales price, and close unit. Those are the 4 that I need you to know about your business. If I ask you right now, how much did you do in July in sales volume, GCI, number of units at an average sales price? Can you give it to me? A real entrepreneur can. All right, you guys, think about it. Can you tell me right now from July? I did 6 deals. I did 2 deals. I did 550,000 in GCI. I'm going to make 14K. I mean, 550,000 in sales volume, and I'm going to do 14K in GCI, and I'm going to actually have to end up in the bank with about 6,000 after fees and taxes. Know the numbers, track everything. But more importantly, did you see what I did? I took you across the sales cycle. I took you across what we call the customer life cycle back in consulting days. Customer acquisition, prospecting, close on actual close, right? End of deal close. All 3 of those you need to be able to measure very succinctly. All right, here's my lovely tracker that I'm going to give to all you guys. If you're not tracking your prospecting efforts and you're really like not getting if you're not getting 3 appointments a week, I want you to start here. I encourage you to start here and find out, why am I not getting appointments? Andy says we need 3 appointments a week. I'm getting 3 appointments a month. 3 appointments a month, by the way, is barely going to yield you a deal a month. 3 appointments a month will not even close a deal a month. Do you guys hear me? We need 3 a week. Thank you, Adam and Amber. So what do? Well, we track every text that we send, every call that we make, every email we send, every social media message I send. I track all of that. This is prospecting. And by the way, remember I told you, marketing's not prospecting, prospecting's not marketing. This is prospecting. I know you got your brand out there. I know you're covered up in advertising. I know you're doing great at farming. I know your Insta looks amazing. Marketing. This is prospecting. This is where the first close happens. Did you get the appointment? How many conversations did you have? Right? How many conversations? How many nurtures came out? Nurtures are beautiful. And you'll hear me say all day long, there is gold in the nurtures. If you don't have a CRM system that's got you on top of the nurtures, reminding you to call your nurtures. By the way, nurtures get called once a month too. Everybody know that? Anybody that's even 9 months out from now gets touched by me once a month. Text, call, or email. Preferably not email while we're prospecting. Let me repeat that. Do not try to think that you can prospect and generate a lot of leads off email. You can do email marketing. It's beautiful for a brand. But I don't use email until they have confirmed and committed that they're going to work with me, other than to send alerts, listing alerts, listing alerts, listing alerts. Let that handle my marketing. All right, but I know the conversion ratios. 70% I can get engaged on text, 30% I can get engaged on call, 2% I can get engaged on email. Why am I spending my time there? If you do email prospect, I love it, but make sure that it is the content is specific to that client. Yes, I'm a fan of drips. Yes, I'm a fan of mass mailing, but I'm a way bigger fan of personalized content where client knows that I'm trying to reach out to them directly and that they're not just part of a drip. Okay. So there's only three things that come out of calling or prospecting. Somebody wants to talk to us. Somebody said not now. Somebody said don't ever call me. I'm working with an agent. That's it. Or I got an appointment set, right? Those are the things that come from this conversation. So if 20 conversations get me one appointment, right, then my new lead conversion ratio is at 1%. Right. Now, follow up. I always say, how many nurtures did you follow up with this week? Oh, I called a few. All right. How many? I tried 9. I talked to 5 of them. I set 2 appointments. You know why? The nurture conversion ratio is better than the new. Let me rephrase that. Nurtures convert higher than news. All right. So you can chase the Redfins and the Zillows all day long in the op cities. Right. I encourage you to. But don't forget about those nurtures that you got back in April, that you got back in February. They're ready to buy a house now. And if you don't call them, another agent will be, because they're going to go back online and keep searching. So somebody else is going to get them. All right. So what I want you to look at is how much, oh, and here's the big one right here. Hours spent. I'm going to ask you guys to do 2 hours of prospecting a day. $1 million agent does 2 hours of prospecting, or he already has enough appointments on the book that he prospects till he gets an appointment, he or she. I don't know about you, but that was one of the affirmations I used to do when I was dialing. I would affirm, I'm not getting off the phone till I get an appointment. And I will get an appointment. I'm going to get an appointment in 22 attempts. I'll put a number out there. I'll stick it on my desk. I believe in the power of affirmations, you guys. Right? And sure enough, I'll set an appointment and off I'll be that afternoon. Okay? I'm going to give you this key track. I'm going to give you this tracker. For those of you who aren't setting appointments, give it a try. Give it a try. Measure. But when you start measuring, you're going to be like, oh man, I didn't do enough. Andy said it takes 20 calls to get one buyer consult, and I only did 10. Know the numbers so you'll know like where you need to push yourself more, where you need to be allocating your time. All right, so then I want you to also think about the commitments you're going to make to holding yourself accountable to prospecting. How many of you have an accountability buddy? Chat it up. I have an accountability partner, Andy. I used to go into the office every morning with my buddy, Jesse, and I'd be like, Jesse, how many calls are you going to make? He's like, I'm going to do 30. It's like, great, I'll do 32. Let's go. I do not. I do. Letitia has awesome. So having an accountability partner in this business is so important, just for the camaraderie and for the motivation. It can get lonely, right? But also just for the competition sometimes. Jesse and I used to compete every morning. I'm like, hey, I'm going to the gym before I get here. Are you? He's like, yeah, I'll go to the gym. Okay, great. I'll be here by 7:30. So I got to be at the gym at 5, right? And Jesse and I would hit the ground. We would role play at 7:30 and 8 o'clock would be on the phones. Now that's East Coast. It's a little bit slower out here, but I will tell you, butts and seats by 9 o'clock, right? So Yes, it's not easy to find a good one, Joseph. And what market are you in, Joseph? You in Colorado, California?
I'm in California,
What part of Cali?
Silicon Valley, Santa
Oh, I
Clara
might
County.
find you one. I've got amazing clients in Silicon Valley. So
Yeah, I
if you
find
can't,
that when I had accountability partners, it seems like I was doing all the work and
you got to
they
find an
weren't.
accountability partner that wants an accountability partner as much as you do.
Or yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or or
So
or wants to give as much as I do.
yeah. Yeah, when your accountability partner doesn't hold you accountable and doesn't do the work, and you're just kind of like fighting a losing battle, like that's not serving you, buddy. Like, let's find you somebody that.
Yeah, I was keeping him motivated, moving, going. He was doing great, but he never reciprocated. Several of them, that's what they do. They don't
Yeah.
reciprocate.
Um, Find somebody within your network. Like, I
Yeah,
strongly
I
encourage
got
you.
I got two lenders I'm developing a relationship that might be a good accountability partner.
I love it.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
want to develop the relationship first before acting upon.
Good. That's perfect. You got to see if there's
Yeah.
a fit.
And
There's
by the
got to
way,
be that
great
connection.
information today. Great, awesome information today.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I've got a few more minutes here. We're winding down. I do want to talk to you a little bit about your money. Okay. I want to talk about money. I like to talk about money. First of all, I want you to be able to understand what your P&L is every month. At the end of the month, I want you to start measuring, did I put more money in the business than I made? I'm going to let you do that on certain times when we're growing the business. By the way, leaders, sometimes expense will get to be 50%, right, of revenue. Revenue is what we got to have. You can do top down or bottom up, but either way, make sure that you're managing your business. A healthy ratio should be about 30% spend to 70% revenue. That means when you get a deal, a commission check, I want you to, believe it or not, pay your taxes, right? Of course, set aside money for your taxes, guys. Tax season, by the way, we got next month coming up, right? So set aside the money for your taxes, pay your fees, and then I want you to put a third back in the business. You mean put a third, Andy, back in the business? Yes, but I got to pay I got to go buy a car. Okay, go buy your car, but then I want you to put 40% back in next month. Okay, please, please measure your P&L. We send our receipts to our bookkeepers and our CPA, but do you really look like, oh man, this month I'm spending more because I'm growing more. I'm investing in recruiting. I'm investing in marketing materials. I got to have some new. I'm going to updo my branding. Okay, great, rebrand. Let's go. It's going to cost you some money, right? But please know that I want you to, when you make a big check, it goes back into the business, right? Oh, you can take a trip too. Okay, so please ask yourself, you guys can tell me right now, what was your distribution in July? Were you 70-30 revenue to expense? What do we know? Do we need to wait for the CPA to give us our numbers next week? Because I always do it after the CPA gives me the numbers, it's easier. 2 quick tips. Please do not commingle personal and professional checking accounts. If you don't already have a business account, believe me, a lot of agents don't, go get one and go get an Amex card on top of that business. And the reason why you get triple points and put all your expenses on Amex and pay it off every month at the beginning of the month. But most importantly, please don't commingle, right? I had a broker one time, every time the team made money, it was commingled in her personal account. I'm like, how do you know? Like, okay, so yeah, you're paying yourself. I get it. I see your payroll. But please go. Oh, and if you're into community, nonprofit, philanthropy, go get a third. Go get a third account and make that your philanthropy account. They're free, right? My wife gets all the money, Joseph says. Isn't that's how that works? So anyhow, I do want you to know she's a bookkeeper. Awesome. I might need to hire her. So I want you guys to definitely know that the money part is really important. Please don't get yourself upside down before taxes. I pay quarterly because I know that I'll spend it if I don't. So I always pay my quarterly. But anyhow, I will tell you, the people that call me in scarcity mode, do you know what I mean by scarcity versus abundant living? Damn it, Andy, I gotta get one. I haven't had one in 2 months. They're like crawling. They're like, it reminds me of like Silence of the Lambs down in the well, right? Like fingernails, like I gotta get I'm like, dude, you're way in scarcity mindset. And that's gonna show up as soon as you go work with your clients. You're gonna be like making offers that don't even need to be made just so that you can get a deal done. All right. And it's the reason is because they've exhausted reserve or they didn't have reserve. Right? We are in the business to make money, you guys. Protect yourself. I tell all new agents have 5 months of personal expense and savings. All new agents, piggy bank it, right? Then get your license. Then we're going to use a little bit of it to launch your business, right? But 5 months of paying your rent, paying your mortgage, paying your car, set it and protect it. Are we allowed to contact you with questions? But of course you may. I'm always available. All right, last but not least, let me see, we got to, I'm going to kind of cruise through this. I want to talk about mindset. I love, who said earlier that it's all about, Letitia, I believe you told me it's all about discipline. You know, our minds have unlimited possibilities. We have a lot of coaches, and I do life coaching as well as business coaching. And when I see people hit a glass ceiling, I look at it as a challenge. I look at it totally as a challenge because I know I can help them break through it. And I want you to know that you can break through it too. When you really believe it. When people start doubting themselves, when you start doubting yourself, doubting if you should be in this business, you've lost belief in yourself. And your confidence goes out the door and you can't really close when you don't have confidence. All right. So push yourself. I told you earlier, I strongly believe in affirmations. The other thing too that I strongly believe in is a positive mindset. Anybody been around a negative Nancy and you just want to like leave the room immediately? You just want to leave the room because their negative energy is, and they're an energy suck, and they can't get out of their negative headspace. It happens to all of us, you guys. It happens to my clients all the time, and I stop and I tell them, "What's the number one thing I ask for?" I say, "Just go for freaking gratitude." I'm gonna skip to this slide and come back. Right? Go straight to gratitude because gratitude is the antidote to fear, to anger, to frustration. I used to live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I had 4 bridges that I would go over between the gym and meeting Jesse at work. And every time I went over a bridge, I made myself be thankful out loud in my car. I am thankful for my awesome handbag today. I am thankful that I get to show up at this team. So every bridge had to be a different gratitude going to work and coming from work. And it set my mind so ready to go meet my clients. And I'm grateful for my clients. A couple of other things that I'll just close here. Weekly goals, you guys, not annual. Yes, you're going to do annual. Yes, you're going to do quarterly. You're even going to go down to monthly, but I want you to set 3 weekly commitments to your business that you can measure and that you can check and say, I did it. In fact, when you coach with me, the first thing I say, did you hit your commitments? Oh, I was going to get 1 under contract, 2 new appointments, and I was going to spend 10 hours prospecting. Did you do it all? Because we can measure that and I can hold you accountable to it. But you have to set it. You have to define it. You have to write it down and you have to be committed to it weekly. The other thing that I'm going to tell you, just back up here before you get to gratitude, show up to work as if you weren't self-employed. Man, I got one agent right now. I'm like, girlfriend, you got to start texting me as soon as you get on your computer because you're not getting to work till 11 o'clock. Like you're not getting to work till 11 o'clock. You're losing 3 hours a day. All right. Multiply that by 6 days a week, right? We're now working a part-time job. 11 a.m. start time is a part-time job, gang. 2 p.m. end time is a part-time job. So treat yourself as if you had to punch in the clock. You are your boss. Manage your time, but show up as if you weren't self-employed. And I got to put in my time. I'm expected there at 9 o'clock, butts in seats, smiling and dialing, or whatever comes first on my day. Okay? Stay positive in the face of adversity. You guys, if you let your clients unwind you, how are you supposed to protect them? If you let your clients get the best of you, how are you supposed to show up for them? We're not here to solve world peace, or in my case, make sure the oceans stay full and abundant. That's my passion. We're here to sell houses, and houses are going to get sold, and we're going to find homes for people. And yes, it's going to get stressful, but I need you to find center. I need you to be balanced, and I need you to stay positive when that listing agent starts yelling at you, because you're the only one that you can control what you can control. And if there's one thing you can control, it's your happiness, gang. Start your day with intention. Start your day saying, I'm going to kill it today on this webinar with my Radius team because I'm so excited to be here, and I'm going to show up with intention to my day. And I'm going to get enough sleep, right? And if I have to go to bed a little earlier, that means my feet are on the ground out of my bed at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm already making calls. My clients call me at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I have to be texting and on the phone and ready to go to help them get their day ready. Okay, so go to bed early, get up early, right? I'll tell you a little hack. One of the things I've noticed, the cars at the gym at 5 a.m. are a whole lot nicer than the cars at the gym at 5 p.m. Check it out. Go to the gym at 5 a.m. It's a bunch of nice cars. Go to go to the gym at 5 p.m. It's nice cars, but not as many. Okay, set aside balance. I'll ask you on my first call with you, what does your balance look like? You guys, when we go on vacation, our phone doesn't stop ringing. So tell your family, hey, listen, I'm only going to take calls between 9 and 10, and 4 and 5, I'm going to answer text messages. And the rest of my time is your time. And I thank you, partner. I thank you, husband, for supporting my business for so long that this trip to Disney World and Disneyland, it's all about you guys. Put your phone down and respect your work-life balance. Tell your clients you'll check in with them at a specific time during that vacation, but that vacation's for you and for your family. And I'll know immediately if you're calling me from Athens, Greece. Actually, I have a client in Athens right now. If you're texting me from Athens, Greece about how happy you are or about something stressing you out back at the office, because you shouldn't even be dialed in. Limit your distractions. The number one thing I teach in this business. Don't cash your paycheck till it's in the bank, gang. Don't get attached to the outcome here, because when you get so attached to it and it doesn't happen in real estate, you go tilt on me. And then I got to course correct you. Don't get attached to the outcome. Work the numbers. If you work the numbers and measure, you will produce results. And if you lose one, so what? You got some more in the end pipe. Don't get attached to the outcome, because it's really hard to get super disappointed when your offer isn't accepted. We got enough to do to pick up our clients. And believe it or not, this is a big one for discipline. Find an office and go to it. The Zoom days have taught us that we can be super distracted. We can do emailing, we can write offers, and we can be on a training class at the same time. But when we're working and we're focused, and we got to get the kids lunch, and we got to make sure they're on Zoom school. And okay, that year that we've spent, you guys, at home learning how to virtually work has been beautiful, but it's caused us to be distracted. So go to an office, go to a Starbucks, go to a library, co-share. I co-share an office here with some people, but I can do all of this from my home, but I'm more intentional when I'm present. And then last but not least, I know we're a little bit over here, so I appreciate your time. Pay it forward. If there's anything that you guys have learned today, and I thank you for your time, I thank you so much, but I'm just asking you just to pay a little bit of it forward. And if it works for you, ping me, tell me, okay? Because it keeps me going. Your success is my success, and I thank you guys so much for your time today.